Good afternoon and welcome to this Q4 report with Kristofer Cook. He is the CEO of Carbiotix. Welcome, Kristofer.
Hi, Kaisa. It's always a pleasure to see you.
So let's begin by taking a look at the numbers. Revenue increased from 40,000 to 80,000, but profit decreased to minus 3.2 million compared to minus 2.1 million. Is this in line with your expectations, Kristofer?
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, the top end reflects that we're still in the development phase or exiting the development phase, I would have to say. And on the cost side, obviously, we incurred additional costs in connection with both personnel resources as well as external consultants in connection with our scale-up efforts, as well as preparing to get our product to market. I think what's probably more interesting is the fact that although we took a hit on the cash flow side, now we're starting to activate financing or leasing agreements, which will allow us to bring that back into the company in Q1. And going forward, we'll be able to activate these types of financing agreements, therefore obviously protecting shareholder value going forward.
So tell me about last quarter, Kristofer, and let's begin with the installation of the first Carbi-AXOS production line.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, this is the biggest news in the company, getting going. We were handed over the facility in November and we're installing the equipment. And as soon as possible, we want that to be completed so we can commission the site and start the site up as well. So this is a big step for us, going from essentially a lab base to what is a production scale production facility at 10 tons per annum. So this is a very exciting phase of the company.
You mentioned before to me that it's very important for you guys to find great partners. And last quarter, you announced that you have signed an agreement with Balsgård Food Tech. Tell me more about this.
Yeah, the impetus or the reason why we signed this agreement with Balsgård, partly, obviously, it's a well-reputed R&D innovation and scale-up facility. But also, it would allow us to establish a partnership with a local actor who could help us with further innovation going down the road. And for us, especially now, it allow us to accelerate the process of getting key samples to complete our grass work, because obviously we need up to 5 samples to complete that work prior to submission. And that allowed us to gain roughly 2 months in that process. Saying that, we also have obviously the interest to establish other partnerships, and we have a partnership with a local spray drying company as well, which we'll announce a bit into the future. But these types of partnerships are going to ultimately allow us to save time and bring down investment. And in the case of the spray drying partner, it'll allow us to save significantly on short-term capex.
Can you tell the viewers a bit more about what a grass self-affirmation protocol is?
Yeah. I understand there's some confusion in connection with getting these regulatory, getting regulatory approvals in place for the company. In the case of grass, it's generally regarded as safe, and it's applicable within the United States, and there are 2 different levels. There's a self-affirmation where we as a company say this product is safe to be sold. And in our case, we're targeting initially a nutraceutical or supplement ingredient. And then we can move that up to what we consider as a gold standard of no objection. And there you submit a dossier to the FDA. So in the case of the self-affirmation, we go through an expert panel, independent individuals who regard the product as safe. And then we can use that as proof to the market that this product is safe. And it's adequate definitely for starting sales, whereas some of the larger customers require the no objection status to complete contracts.
Thank you for clarifying that, Kristofer. And at the beginning of this year, Carbiotix started an evaluation project with another company. What's this and what does it mean for Carbiotix?
Yeah, in this case, the evaluation project is with one of the top 5 laboratories in the world, which is very exciting. Obviously, given the fact that this laboratory considers what we're doing as interesting and competitive. And it's in connection with our Link Gut service, which is this companion diagnostic that we offer to our B2B customers. And they can offer that sequentially or to their customers as a way to validate the efficacy of the ingredients that we're selling. And we're always looking for opportunities to save on costs, or reduce the cost of this companion diagnostic test for gut health, increase the flexibility and reliability. And obviously these partners have bases in different continents where we can get savings in terms of postal times, but also postal costs. And obviously leverage the fact that they have much larger volumes and hopefully use that to bring down cost. It doesn't mean we're going to get rid of our service. I think it's important both in negotiations, but also going forward. It allows us to sort of be at the forefront on the R&D side when it comes to having the lowest cost, most effective test at market, which is a key part of our value proposition and our competitive advantage.
So before we wrap up this interview, is there anything you would like to say to investors, or something that you think that they should keep an extra eye out for?
Well, as I said earlier, this is a very exciting time for the company. It's 8 years in the making, and we have a lot of things that are happening, both in terms of evaluation of new raw materials. Obviously, the completion of our existing site is extremely important, and the completion of the grass work as well, getting that in place. But equally important, obviously, signing our first sales contract, diversifying to different substrate streams and building out the product portfolio, getting new IP in place, both on the product side as well as across different modulator classes, for example, therapeutics. Scaling up our efforts on the Linkit partner side. As I said, this is a competitive advantage going forward, and we definitely want to leverage that as much as possible. We're also getting confirmation from the market, different experts in the market, that we're in an industry where it's not a zero-sum game, meaning that the industry itself is always going to be behind when it comes to putting in place the necessary production capacity to satisfy the demand that will happen, regardless if you believe it's a 10% per annum or 25% per annum growth that will happen. So things are looking definitely very favorable, and our goal is definitely to capture as much value as possible through our own production facilities and innovative financing techniques to shelter investors from extensive capex, and then bringing those assets, back in so we can capture all the gross margin from these projects 5 to 10 years outwards, and eventually getting into significant single-digit market share in an industry that could be worth anywhere between 15 and 20 billion euros per annum. So this is exciting. Our products are looking very good. So the confidence level from my side is extremely high. It's actually never been higher than it is right now, and it's a nice reward given the fact that we've spent 8 long years getting to where we are right now.
Well, thank you so much for today, Kristofer, and we'll speak soon again.
Great. Thanks, Kaisa.